Imagine stumbling upon a world-changing invention by pure chance. From penicillin to the microwave, history is filled with moments where accidents led to breakthroughs. Each discovery tells a story of curiosity, serendipity, and the unexpected twists of fate. What if the next great idea is just a mistake waiting to happen? Join me as we dive into the fascinating tales behind these accidental discoveries, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the unexpected ignites innovation. Get ready to see how chance can shape our world in ways we never imagined.
In 1895, I found myself in my laboratory, immersed in the world of cathode rays. I was conducting experiments with a Crookes tube, a fascinating device that allowed me to explore the properties of these rays. As I adjusted the apparatus, something unexpected caught my eye. A faint, eerie glow emanated from a nearby screen, coated with barium platinocyanide. It was a fluorescent light, but I hadn't directed any cathode rays toward it. Curiosity piqued. I began to investigate this mysterious phenomenon. I covered the tube with black cardboard, thinking it would block any stray light. Yet, the glow persisted. It was as if some invisible force was at play. I realized I had stumbled upon something extraordinary. I had discovered a new type of ray, one that could penetrate solid objects and reveal what lay beneath the surface. I named these rays X-rays, with X signifying the unknown. The implications of my discovery were profound. I quickly set to work, taking images of various objects, including my own hand. The results were astonishing. I could see the bones within, a glimpse into the human body that had never been possible before. This was not merely a scientific curiosity, it was a breakthrough that would change the landscape of medicine forever. Within a short time, the medical community began to recognize the potential of X-rays. Surgeons could now visualize fractures and foreign objects within patients without invasive procedures. The ability to see inside the body revolutionized diagnostics, allowing for quicker and more accurate treatments. As I shared my findings with the world, I was both excited and humbled by the impact of my work. X-rays opened new doors in medical imaging, leading to advancements that would save countless lives. The technology evolved rapidly, paving the way for innovations like CT scans and MRIs, which have become staples in modern medicine. Reflecting on that fateful day in my lab, I am reminded of the power of curiosity and the unexpected paths it can lead us down. What began as a simple experiment with cathode rays transformed into a legacy that continues to shape our understanding of the human body. The discovery of X-rays was not just a moment in time, it was a leap into the future of medical science, forever altering how we diagnose and treat illness.
In 9, a serendipitous moment changed the course of medicine forever. Picture this. Wilson Greatbatch, an engineer tinkering away in his lab, was trying to create a device to record heartbeats. But instead, he accidentally grabbed the wrong resistor. Instead of a simple recording device, he created a prototype for the first implantable pacemaker. Can you imagine the shock? A mistake that would lead to a revolution in cardiac care. Greatbatch's invention was a game changer. Before this, patients with heart rhythm disorders had few options. They faced a grim reality, often living in fear of sudden cardiac arrest. But with the pacemaker, suddenly there was hope. This tiny device could send electrical impulses to the heart, helping it beat regularly and effectively. It was like giving a second chance at life to those who had been living on the edge. However, the journey wasn't smooth. Greatbatch faced skepticism from the medical community. Many were hesitant to embrace this new technology, fearing the unknown. The first human implantation in 1960 was a monumental leap, but it was fraught with challenges. The device had to be small enough to fit inside the human body. yet powerful enough to regulate the heart. Engineers and doctors worked tirelessly, refining the design, ensuring safety and improving functionality. As the years rolled on, advancements in technology transformed the pacemaker. The introduction of lithium batteries in the 1970s extended the device's life significantly, allowing patients to live longer without needing replacements. By the 1980s, pacemakers became increasingly sophisticated, with features like rate responsiveness, which adjusted the heart rate based on the patient's activity level. This was not just a device, it was becoming a personalized companion for heart health. Fast forward to today, and we see pacemakers that are wireless, capable of monitoring heart activity in real time and even communicating with smartphones. Imagine the peace of mind for patients who can now track their heart health from the palm of their hand. The impact of the pacemaker on modern medicine is profound. It has saved countless lives and has paved the way for innovations in cardiac care. The story of the pacemaker is not just about technology. It's about resilience and the relentless pursuit of better health. It's a testament to how a single moment of curiosity and a little bit of luck can lead to groundbreaking advancements. Wilson Greatbatch's accidental discovery was more than just a mistake. It was the spark that ignited a revolution in how we understand and treat heart disease. Today, we celebrate not just the device itself, but the lives it has transformed, the families it has kept together, and the future it continues to shape. In 945, I found myself in a rather unexpected situation that would change the way we cook forever. I was working as an engineer at Raytheon Corporation, immersed in radar technology. One day, while standing near a magnetron, I felt something unusual in my pocket. It was a chocolate bar, and to my surprise, it had melted. That moment sparked a curiosity that would lead to a groundbreaking discovery. I started to wonder, could these microwaves actually cook food? So, I decided to experiment. First, I grabbed a handful of popcorn kernels. I placed them in front of the magnetron and turned it on. Within moments, I was greeted with the delightful sound of mopping. It was like magic. Those little kernels transformed into fluffy popcorn right before my eyes. I was thrilled, but I needed to test this further. Next, I thought, why not try something a bit more daring? I took a raw egg and placed it in a microwave field. As I watched, I could hardly believe what happened next. The egg exploded. It was a messy but enlightening moment. Clearly, microwaves were powerful, and I had stumbled upon a new method of cooking. This discovery led to the development of the first microwave ovens. Initially, they were massive and expensive, weighing over 600 pounds and costing around $5,000. Definitely not something you'd find in a typical kitchen. But the potential was undeniable. We were on the brink of a culinary revolution. As the years went by, engineers worked tirelessly to refine the technology. By the 1970s, microwave ovens became smaller, more affordable, and accessible to the average household. Suddenly, cooking became faster and more convenient. Leftovers could be reheated in minutes, and meals could be prepared with just the push of a button. Looking back, it's incredible to think that a melted chocolate bar in my pocket led to such a transformative invention. Microwaves changed our relationship with food, making cooking easier and more efficient. Today, it's hard to imagine a kitchen without one. What started as a simple observation turned into a staple of modern life, all thanks to a little curiosity and a lot of experimentation.
In 1968, deep within the research lab of 3M in Minnesota, a chemist named Dr. Spencer Silver was on a quest. He was determined to create an adhesive so powerful that it could be used in the aerospace industry. Day after day, he meticulously experimented with chemical formulas, adjusting components by the tiniest increments, chasing that elusive breakthrough. But one fateful afternoon, everything changed. Instead of crafting a super strong glue, Silver stumbled upon something unexpected: a weak adhesive. It stuck, yes, but only lightly, and it peeled away without leaving any residue. For most inventors, this would be a moment of defeat, but not for Silver. He believed in his creation, sharing his low-tackle adhesive with colleagues, hoping to ignite some interest. Yet, in a company known for its industrial-strength solutions, a gentle, removable glue felt like an oddity, a solution desperately searching for a problem. Fast forward to 1974, when another 3M scientist, Art Fry, attended one of Silver's seminars. Fry, a dedicated member of his church choir, faced a weekly frustration. His paper bookmarks kept slipping out of his hymnal. Sitting in that meeting, a light bulb went off. What if he could use Silver's weak adhesive on paper? A bookmark that would stick in place without damaging the pages. Fry took the idea home and began experimenting. He coated one edge of small scraps of paper with the adhesive, and to his delight, they clung perfectly. But Fry didn't stop there. He realized this could be more than just a bookmark. It could be a way to jot down notes, reminders, and messages that could be easily attached and removed. Together, Silver and Fry refined their product, and by 1977, they were ready to test it in 4 US cities. The initial reaction? Lukewarm. People didn't quite grasp why they would need such a product, but Silver and Fry believed in their idea. The following year, they decided to flood offices in Boise, Idaho, with free samples. What happened next was nothing short of magical. People used them once, and suddenly, they didn't want to give them up. By 1980, the Post-it note was launched nationwide. Initially bright yellow, chosen simply because it was the only scrap paper color available in the lab, it quickly became an office staple. From boardrooms to kitchen refrigerators, this little square of sticky paper revolutionized the way we jot down and share information. It's incredible to think that it all started with an adhesive that was never meant to be weak. The Post-it note transformed the mundane into the memorable, proving that sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places.
In 1928, I found myself in a modest laboratory at St. Mary's Hospital in London, immersed in my work on infectious diseases. The city outside was alive with activity, but inside, I was focused on the microscopic world of bacteria. Tuberculosis, scarlet fever, sepsis. These were not just terms. They were the grim realities that doctors battled daily. As I prepared to take a short holiday, I stacked several petri dishes on my bench, each one teeming with colonies of Staphylococcus bacteria. It was a routine task, one I'd performed countless times before. But when I returned, something unusual caught my eye. One dish was different. A fuzzy patch of greenish-blue mold had appeared, and astonishingly, the bacteria surrounding it had vanished. It was as if this mold had drawn an invisible line, pushing the bacteria away. Curiosity piqued. I isolated the mold and identified it as Penicillium notatum. I began a series of experiments, and to my amazement, I discovered that this mold produced a substance capable of killing a wide range of bacteria. I was convinced I had stumbled upon a breakthrough that could change the course of medicine, a potential weapon against infections that could save lives on the battlefield and in hospitals alike. Yet, I soon hit a wall. The active substance was unstable, difficult to extract, and the techniques available to me in the 1920s were inadequate for a large-scale production. I published my findings, but they were largely overlooked. The scientific community moved on, and I felt as though my discovery had slipped through my fingers. Fast forward to 1938, over a decade later, when a team at Oxford, Howard Florey, Ernst Boris Chain, and Norman Heatley, rediscovered my paper. They decided to investigate further, employing improved purification methods. They managed to extract enough penicillin to test on mice, and the results were nothing short of miraculous. Infected mice survived, while untreated ones perished. By 1941, human trials began, and penicillin proved to be a game changer. But the challenge of scaling up production loomed large, especially with World War II raging. Battlefield infections were claiming thousands of lives, and the urgency was palpable. Pharmaceutical companies in the United States joined the effort, developing deep fermentation methods that finally made mass production possible. When penicillin reached the front lines, the impact was immediate. Wounded soldiers who might have succumbed to gangrene or sepsis began to recover. The death rate from bacterial infections plummeted. In the decades that followed, penicillin went on to save millions, ordinary people, who, just years earlier, faced infections that could have been a death sentence. It's remarkable to think that this monumental leap in medical science began because I didn't clear away a stack of Petri dishes before going on holiday. A simple oversight that changed the course of history.